Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we return to Easy Delivery Co. to find out exactly what happened to Seb and whether or not Easy Co had a part in it or not, although I think we already know the answer to that, but let's dive in. Alright, resume. We only had $5 in our bank. We were on day 9 with 21 liters of fuel. We had already learned how to fish, how to make fish stew as well. I don't exactly remember what our objective was, but I do remember that MK was kind enough to find a way to leave this wide open so we can still take intercity deliveries. Alright, so this was the last thing we did. Bring the supplies to MK at the security gate. That's right, we brought him the walkie-talkie. Holy smokes, and our new goal is purchase the ice chains from Auto Shop. Ice chains help keep your grip on ice, and I'd assume that's to get us to that central radio tower. So let's go ahead and start by picking up a job. I'd assume we want the most expensive intercity job we can get our hands on. I mean, we have fish stew, we have coffee. At some point I'll stop by the depot and just buy a whole bunch of wood and coffee powder so I can just make a ton of it. Alright, this one takes us to Snowy Peaks for $53. That sounds like a pretty good start. So where do we actually start here? So we actually start in Clifton, where the ice chains are, which is kind of funny, and it should take us all the way back to Snowy Peaks. So let's get started with that. We're going to Easy Auto. So we're actually going straight ahead. Welcome to Fishing Town. Thank you. Now, I remember Clifton was the one that confused me for about 10 minutes of the first episode last time. I was driving around until I eventually fell off one of these snowy hills and accidentally landed where I needed to be. So this time, let's take care to actually read the signs. This way to Clifton. We also have the bumper in front of the car, which actually allowed us into that dam. Okay, so let's see. We came this way, we took a left. You'd imagine I just need to go straight ahead, and it should be right around the corner. Look at that, I've learned how to read my maps. Okay, we're hopping out, and we are picking up the package from here. Hello, this is the guy who has terrible memory. It's been so nice to play with all our friends the last few days. MK must miss Seb so much. I can't imagine not having my closest friend while everyone else has found each other. Oh goodness. So actually, one of you hypothesized that MK could be the one in the recording, basically telling Seb not to go, which I thought was actually a really compelling theory. Let's head back this way, because I was wondering who was actually talking to Seb in that recording, who was asking him basically not to go. And the idea that it's MK, based on what he just said, makes a lot of sense. That they may have been friends. And actually that kind of ties into my theory, that maybe we are Seb in a way, and we got like brainwashed or something. And that's why MK refers to us not as Seb, knowing that we don't know that we are Seb. I don't know, it's a little bit convoluted, but it's a theory that I find quite intriguing. Alright, we are going through here. Perfect. Slow down a little bit so we didn't lose our package. Also, one of you guys also said that I could use tape to hold down my packages, which actually makes a lot of sense. I don't think it's worth the investment, really, or the time, just because I only need one of the boxes to make it, and it's really not that terribly difficult to keep it in, like the actual truck, but I've had a couple of close calls that made me think maybe I need it. Alright, we're going all the way through Easton, through Weston, up the hill, through Upton, and out the other end. So let's get a move on. I do think taking these really long trips is easily the best way to go about this. It seems I'm on the lower level, but I should be able to just go straight. That should take me to Weston anyways. Yeah, perfect. That way, in case I need to stop at a depot, or I need gas, or anything of the like, I can do so basically just on the way to wherever my destination is on these long trips. Alright, up the so-called cliff. In my head, this will always be the cliff. It was the first steep road that I drove in this game, and I genuinely thought I was doing something amazing going down there. But ever since we've been to Snowy Peaks, we know that that is child's play. Alright, this should be another right to Upton. Perfect. I am getting to know these streets like the back of my hand. I really do feel very comfortable driving my way through here, even with the bumps and what have you. I mean, this truck so far hasn't succumbed to absolutely anything. You can literally try to drive straight up a wall and it will survive. At least thus far. I don't want to, like, test my luck or anything, but it has been a very trusty, sturdy vehicle to work with. Alright, bridge number 2, right after this little U-turn. Excuse me. I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time anticipating what the plot twist is going to be. But at the same time, I want to be right. I want to understand what's going on, which is obviously, like, the entire point. But it would be cool if I could guess it ahead of time. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on what the old man at the auto repair place mentioned. That MK and Seb were friends. Those are the little lore drops that I need. Alright, up we go. Straight through Upton, full speed ahead, into Snowy Peaks. And we'll see exactly how far into Snowy Peaks we're driving, because Snowy Peaks is by far the most difficult terrain to navigate. Nothing that we won't be able to handle. I mean, look at that. Look at that, come on, and the truck is stood up. I mean, if I can do that, I can do anything in this vehicle, genuinely. There's no way I can write that off as really good driving on my part, or even any particular amount of luck. Like, realistically, all of those packages should have flown out, and the truck would be completely out of commission. But here we are, full speed ahead anyways. Gotta love the trustworthiness of this vehicle. Alright, straight through. Alright, and before I drive too much further, where exactly am I headed? Oh, perfect! It's right at the very entrance, so I think I'm gonna have to go over the kind of annoying snow right here at the entrance, but I'll just have to go up to the intersection just past this, and I should be fine. No, frame rate drop, stop! Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, goodness, that was extremely close. What is that? Oh, those are birds. Holy smokes, I thought it was a giant mosquito. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Snow Tires. Thank you, MK, for suggesting them. Oh, is this MK's cabin? I think it is. Oh, I changed POVs for a second. Oh, one of you guys actually mentioned that I can change POVs. I forgot to check how exactly I do that. I think it's under controls. Camera. Oh, I can drive POV. Look at this, first person. I can't see anything out of my rear view, so that's not safe at all. But there's nobody else on the road anyways, so cannot be bothered. So it changes between first person and third. Understood. Okay, we're hopping out of the truck, grabbing the package, throwing it on the floor, closing the trunk, and let's go into MK's cabin. He shouldn't actually be home. Yeah, he's not. There's the, there's his stove, which I could use in case I needed to make any food. I don't think there's any supplies I can pick up for free here. Let me see what I actually have. I have my cooking pot, I have my lighter, I have 7 coffees, which is wonderful. I should probably take a moment to drink some. I have fish soup. I kind of want to find out what that is worth. There's my radio as well, which shines light, but doesn't have any incoming broadcasts at the moment. Let's have some fish soup and see how good this really is for energy. Holy moly, look at that. Did you see how many bars we just gained? Holy smokes, we're ready for anything. Okay, cool. Okay, fish soup is even better than coffee, and coffee is already amazing. That is actually really good news. Let's see what the most expensive trip we can take is. $38 takes us to Mountain Town. Really not that pricey. This one takes us back to Fishing Town. But for only $4 more, I think I'd rather just stay in Mountain Town. Pick up almost at Munton, but I don't actually have to go deal with anything. It's just past the bridge. And the drop-off will be... Oh, it's in the pawn shop. That makes sense. The drop-off will be somewhere in Mountain Town. Alright, to Munton. So it should be literally just straight over this bridge, tiny little left, and I'll be where I need to be at the pawn shop. Should be right back here. Perfect. I don't think we've been inside this pawn shop. I know we went to this Easy Auto for, what was it, the Snow Tires? Oh, it's you again, who thinks there's stuff in the packages. I've done my own research on these deliveries and have determined that they definitely contain something. You know what? Tinfoil hat on, I completely agree. Suspicious, like... oh, okay. Suspicious like cardboard. I don't know if we should research that. I thought you were onto something for a moment. But you're just learning about cardboard. Okay, we're backing out of here, and off we go to Mountain View. Yeah, we've gone from $5 to 61, and learned that fish stew is actually super energetic, which is good news. Because I think we have, what, 4 more of those? And it's not terribly difficult to make, so I could take, for example, 1 trip back down like I am at the moment, 1 trip back, and then the last trip take it all the way to Fishing Town, so that I can actually go fishing when I get there. Alright, back to Mountain View. My homeland. Okay, where actually am I delivering to? Easton, perfect. I could even do a pickup from Fishing Town and then go fishing immediately, but I don't really desperately need more energy than I already have. I have coffee, I have fish stew, so I'm in a good place as it is. Take a little joyride. Whee! Okay, realistically, I should be more careful because I'm basically begging. I'm just begging for a frame rate drop and then to go flying off the mountain and find out the hard way how badly you get reset if you do die in this game. Oh, also, I'm almost out of fuel, which is very unlike me. Oh goodness, that was a pretty hard spin out there. Okay, I need to drive more carefully. I say that now. 1 more turn and I'm going to totally forget and be like, okay, time to take off again, full speed ahead. Like I am right now. But I can get fuel at Easton and talk to Gus, who was also the one that had like a weird factory reset moment in the last episode. We talked to him, and normally he's a rather dry curmudgeon who's just, he starts every conversation with and then says something mean. He even set us up one time, but he said something really kind the other day, which I wanted to attribute to character development, but then later in a different interaction gave us a very weird, sort of robotic, have an easy day sort of speech, which is very unlike Gus. So unlike Gus and so robotic that it cannot possibly be the result of anything other than easy co-intervention of some kind. I don't want to go straight to microchips in the brain or anything like that, or, you know, brainwashing, but I wouldn't put it beyond easy co. Okay, Weston, so I want to head over this way to Easton. And down my fabulous cliff. So I'll drop this off. It's usually around the fuel station. I mean, it's a really tiny little town over there, so everything is near the fuel station. I'll drop this off, grab some fuel, and we will get a chance to talk to Gus again. We'll see how he's holding up. If he's his usual curmudgeon-y self, or, holy smokes, I almost drove off the edge, or if he's been easy coified. I don't even know how to say that better. Alright, where is the drop-off point? Oh, it was in Weston! Oopsie. You know what? Let's just get gas. I have the money for it. I was so set on finding out whether or not Gus had been taken over by EasyCo that I totally forgot to check that it was actually in Easton. I just kind of assumed it was. Okay, we're parking right here. Special visit for you, Gus. How are you? Silence? That's a new one. He normally starts with humph. Welcome to Easy Fuel. What? We predicted the amount of fuel you require. Oh, Gus, my boy, I don't know what they did to you, but I have a really bad feeling about this. $50 has been automatically deducted from your Easy Bank account. Have an easy day. Have an easy day. Oh god, that is not Gus whatsoever. Alright, so We are fueled up, and we've also definitely confirmed that that is not Gus that we're talking to anymore. Oh god, that's kind of disturbing. The guy from the Easy Auto Station, totally normal. Talking about MK, talking about Seb. The type of people that in 1984, you know, would have been disappeared, as it were. Meaning, no mention of them could ever be made again, and I have a funny feeling that EasyCo probably operates under similar sort of constraints. Because Gus definitely got easy code. Now the question is, did somebody come and do that to him? Did that happen to him because he has something like in him, his actual self, that changed his behavior, like a chip of some kind? Or is that not even Gus at all? Like a Skinwalker style situation? I mean, if I use myself as any sort of example, you'd imagine that it's just brainwashing. Unless I am some sort of figment. Anyways, that's the delivery. We have $53. I have coffee and fish and what have you. I should probably just focus on getting some more jobs. I need, what is it, like $300? I need $300 in the bank. So I basically just need to pick up as many jobs as possible, preferably actually noticing where the drop-off point is. Okay, Fishing Town, $60. We pick up from Easy Flowers in Upton, which is kind of annoying. Snowy Peak, 71. That is very nice, actually. Okay, we'll go 71, and we'll pick up from Easy Market. Okay, so head back to Easton. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't really enjoy the idea of dropping off to Weston, because you sort of end up in between. I mean, we get paid per mile, as far as I can tell, because I don't get that many expensive jobs when I'm on either end, because there's only one direction to go in. Whereas here I have to drive to Easton and then drive back through here again to go back to Fishing Town, which sort of determines the price that I get paid. So maybe I should be in Weston and Upton, or maybe I shouldn't be anywhere specific and it just genuinely doesn't matter. I'm going to drive the same distance anyways, which I have a funny feeling is how it actually works. Okay, we're picking up from, where was it, Easy Mart? Easy Flowers? I think it was Easy Mart. Right here. Hey, buddy. Hey, mate. Alright, you're normal. That's good. I've been looking back at my affirmation journal and noticed it starts the day you arrived. Oh boy. Did everybody get brainwashed? I had thought I'd been writing in it for years. Yep. Our arrival is definitely aligned with some horrendous event. Alright, let's get out of here. So, at least he has only had his memory wiped up until that date. But as far as I can tell, their personality is exactly the same as it always was, I hope. Okay, which way am I actually going? To Snowy Peak, so I need to go all the way back up. Okay, cool. Whereas Gus seems to have had a total factory reset, which is concerning. Says a lot about the reach that EasyCo has. The question is, why Gus? Because Gus was an angry little guy, but as far as I can tell, not an actual threat to EasyCo. Well, I suppose a threat to their branding. Maybe they treat it that seriously. Excuse me, birdies. Hang a sharp right here. Little snow shortcut. Oh, hold on a second. Hold your horses. What is this? This looks very promising. I have a funny feeling I'm not supposed to be going up this way unless I have the ice stuff. This kind of works. Might be a total waste of gas, I have no idea. I don't think the game calculates gas like that, though. I mean, I'm still making upwards progress. That's gotta be good for something. Okay, am I just putting myself in a risky situation for no reason? Probably. Alright, let's head back down. Oh, try to pump the brakes. No. No, I don't want to reset. I've got everything under control, for crying out loud. Have a little faith. Alright, pump the brakes. Alright, we'll go up the normal way. I figure if I get the ice chains, I think they're called, I think I'll be able to do silly stuff like that and save myself a lot of driving. I am keeping a sharp eye out for those shortcuts. Ever since we went to Fishing Town and I realized they're actually kind of obviously marked. I just don't think I can do that one right now. And a little left turn here to bridge number 2. I wonder where that actually would have taken us. Like, how much time would that have actually saved? Would it have taken us to the other side of the bridge? Like, near the radio tower? Because I can definitely drive down that. I don't have to necessarily drive up it. Oh, I don't know. This seems really, really high up. I don't think driving off the edge of this... No, it definitely couldn't take us this far. Maybe that wasn't a shortcut. Maybe that was literally just snow. And I just wanted to believe that it was going to take us up rather quickly. You can't really blame me, though. I've driven this so many times now that it gets a little bit repetitive. Straight through here. Grab a little airtime on the snow pile right after this bridge. Good. Full speed ahead. And hang time. Oh. Or just pump the brakes on the snow. And almost spin out. And frame drop. And keep goofing around and see what happens. Alright, I need to... I need to stop. Alright, straight to the tunnel. Off we go. And I have a funny feeling that for $70, we are not just going to be driving into Snowy Peaks and dropping off right at the entrance. But one can hope, because we did have to drive to Easton for the package. So there's a small chance that we don't have to go that far. Alright, welcome to Snowy Peaks. Where exactly are we going? Holy smokes. Alright, yeah. I had a funny feeling that for $70, they weren't going to let us off the hook that easy. Alright, so we're driving to Munton, then to Lopton, then to the radio tower, and just before entering the radio tower and getting arrested by EasyCo authorities, we'll drop it off at one of the cabins and skedaddle. Alright, welcome to Munton. Now I pretty much just drive past the pawn shop to the... Whoa, frame drop. Oh, goodness. To the bridge, and then I'll be on my way to Lopton. Look at the snow around here. Can we get a snow pusher through here? One of those big trucks with a scoop at the front? Can we do that? All right, bridge should be just up ahead. Have I gone past it? No. There it is. I was confused why it hadn't spawned in. I thought it was much closer. Alright, little right-hand turn, and straight down to Lopton. We're getting kind of low on energy, so I'll have to have some more fish stew in a moment, but it gives us so many bars that I'm really not concerned about it at all. So I'm thinking we drop this off, we have some fish stew, we grab another trip all the way to Fishing Town, which should pay a very pretty penny. And then when we get there, we can do a little more fishing and what have you. Do I need more firewood? I might need more firewood, which would require a stop at the depot. I think I might. I don't believe I have a ton of firewood to spare. Okay, let's be careful not to slide out on the snow here. Second bridge should also be right around here. Yep, I remember this. And it should be right there. Nice. Little right-hand turn. And I don't think it actually requires us going too far up. No, it should be just the third cabin down. Be careful here. As soon as we see that first cabin, yeah. That's cabin number 1. Cabin number 2. It should be cabin number 3. There we go. These always gave me the heebie-jeebies. A little bit of a creepy little trio of cabins. Alright, close that up. I did say I was going to drink coffee or have fish stew. Let's have fish soup. Alright, drinking that up gave us plenty of energy. We can get back in. Oh, wait, I need to check how many... Oh, do I have any wood at all? I don't have any wood at all. Okay, so if I want to go fishing, I will need more firewood, which means I need to stop at a depot at some point. So if I pass a depot, I'll make a point of stopping and actually grabbing some wood. Fishing Town, $85. Now we're talking. Don't need to show me anything else. Easy Cafe. Where is that? On the way back. Perfect. Alright, and we are off to the races. Easy Cafe means we'll get to the end of the bridge, hang a right, hang a little U-turn, and we'll be right there. Or rather, little U-turn, and then all the way to the end. Okay. $127, so we still have a ways to go. And if you include the fishing trip, we still have some stuff to do before we can actually afford those tires. I'm trying to think. I don't think I need anything more for the fishing trip. I already have a fishing rod. I have a lighter. I have coffee that I can make as well. Actually, no, I have made coffee already. So maybe I can buy some coffee powder as well. I'll have the money to spare, but I don't want to set myself too far behind. Because I do need to make those $300 if I want to get those ice tires. Or rather, those ice chains for my tires. You can see our gas is already running down. And these expenses sure do pile up quickly. Okay, Easy Cafe. Oh no, but this is the depot. So we'll go ahead and head inside. Alright, we have stuff to shop for. We need firewood. Is 4 of them fine? I think 4 is plenty. Sigh. I saw Ellie today. Oh, this poor guy. Maybe I'll say hello soon. Give me 17 months or so. What if we don't instantly fall in love forever? You should say hello for me. I definitely would. It'll cost $19.95. Although I think it would be better coming from you. I'll just be here. Okay, buddy, if you insist. We'll put that away. I could get more coffee powder. Duct tape, tea bags. Tea bags are good for the cold. I don't have any of them, so I'm going to buy some of those as well. I can only imagine that a game set quite literally in the snow, it would be good to have those tea bags that give you that anti-cold effect. Thank you, appreciate it. Alright, question is, do I want to hear the sob story one more time for some coffee powder? Which coffee do I have? I have plenty of coffee, and coffee is a backup for me anyways, because what I really want is to go fishing. So I have the firewood for that. We're headed down to the cafe now. Should be a little bit further ahead. We still have $100. I don't feel like I overspent. Here's the pickup point. We're going to make 85 on this one, which is quite nice. And it will also take us to Fishing Town. Fancy seeing you here. This is the person that spits game to everybody that walks in. If I were binary code, I'd be a 0 because you're the only one I need. See? That's how binary works, right? Something like that. Holy smokes, look at the size of that package. Let's go ahead and toss that in and close the rear. 2 of those at least are flying straight off, and good riddance. Alright, we only need to deliver 1 of them to get the full amount of money, so no worries there. A little bit of a jump. As long as this package doesn't fly out the rear, it will be totally fine. Alright, I think I'm just taking the first right onto the bridge. Nice. And I am headed to Fishing Town. Full speed ahead, but I'm ready to brake. And there we go. Turning left right here. Back to Winton. I could... Well, I don't know. I was going to say, depending on how many more trips I need to do, or I need to take, I could just get the... No, I was going to say I could get the firewood I need and use it at MK's cabin instead to actually cook the fish, where it doesn't cost me anything to keep the heat going, but that's kind of redundant because I already need to make a source of heat when I'm going fishing, so I might as well use that. Alright, right-hand turn here, back to Mountain View. It'd be really nice if I could find like a really long shortcut through Mountain View. It's turning into more of a transitory sort of area, almost a liminal space, if you want to imagine it that way, that I don't necessarily stop in all that often, minus Easton, when I need to get gas. Alright, these two respawn again. They will be off us in just a moment. Watch this. Oop, and you're gone. Alright. Right, because wouldn't it be amazing if I could just, like, crash, and then be through again? What are the odds that's possible? I mean, if I look down there, I have to admit, it does not look promising whatsoever. Wait, I can see the road from here. Oh, it's so tempting. I just don't need to take that risk for any reason. Alright, we'll go down the normal way. Because we already saw it was way too steep on the way up. But on the way down, it wasn't actually that terrible. It wasn't ideal, obviously. It was slippery, we slid out a couple of times, we almost fell on our side, but ultimately, with a little bit of handy braking, we did make it to the bottom again. I don't know, it saved me so much time over at Snowy Peaks that temptation to keep my eyes peeled for any more potential shortcuts is very, very high. Yeah, I just don't see anything. You see all that rock that runs along the side of the road, and you have to imagine that that's risky. Like, what if I could just go down this way? Oh, it's so risky, though. I don't know. Ah, I'm so close to the end anyways. I'm wasting more time trying to figure out if I can shortcut the path than I would be if I were just driving straight ahead. Right, because it doesn't take that much to drive to the end. Hang little right turn, and keep moving. Alright, that wouldn't have saved us too much time, especially if we somehow total the truck. Alright, third and final bridge. And then 2 quick lefts, straight through Easton, straight to the tunnel. I think I'm getting a lot better at handling the truck. Straight down the cliff. 'Cause I'm timing it just before I start to slide out. I mean, technically this game should be played on console, I think was the recommendation. I don't have consoles, so here we are on PC, thugging it out. Alright, we're going straight through here, down to the tunnel that will take us to Fishing Town. And I'm not sure how deep into Fishing Town it's going to make us go, but for $85, I wouldn't blame them if they made us go pretty far. Alright, this way. Nice little jump. And up we go. Yippee! And one more, just for good measure. Little third one in there, and we're through. Alright, let's get that off the back of the truck so I can actually see where I'm going. A little bit of a jump. And let's take a moment to see where we are headed. Okay, the ice chains are here. We're actually just headed to Clifton, so left, and then we should be there. Now, our energy is running down pretty quickly, and I don't feel like using my coffee. I like the idea of using the coffee as sort of an emergency sort of backup thing, because I've now made 3 relatively large trips that have taken us to almost $200. Remember, we started at 5. Running off fish soup alone. So I'd imagine that going back and taking the time to fish for some more fish is very much justified. Alright, where is the drop-off point? It's gotta be one of these little houses. No, it's the Easy Mart. Okay. Right here. Hop on out, open the trunk, pick that up, place it, close, and get back in. I could probably take like a tiny trip from Clifton to Dampton. Get a little more cash under my belt, or even better, I could take it to Smalton, if it just takes me like here, and I need to get fuel anyways. Let's do that. Let's grab a trip from Clifton to Smalton, and then I can grab gas when I get there as well. Let me hop out and have some of this delicious fish soup. I only have 3 of them left. Alright, sweet. We've had that. Let's go ahead and grab a job. Oh, local is what I need. I just need something that takes me to Smalton. Sure, $9. We'll go ahead and start that job. I cannot be too picky. I'm literally just doing a little small town job anyways. Alright, where am I picking up from? I have $191. That is amazing. Pick up from the prawn shop. That I can do. You can see the weather out here is way worse than it is in the other two maps. Alright, prawn shop. I mean, this is a very clear blizzard. Was it always called the prawn shop? I thought it was called the pawn shop. Alright, let's hop out and go inside. It's you again. The birds. They run away when I approach them. They know I'm onto them. I don't think they're real. They might not be. They seem to get out of the way of my truck when I'm going 5 miles per hour or 50. So I do not blame you for your suspicions. Alright, I do believe there was a shortcut that I could take. But going this way is probably fine, so we'll go right, left, and then right. Rather, yeah, right, left, and then right, sure. So, right to Smolton. Yeah, this blizzard is horrendous, because the weather isn't always this bad. Left, but it limits my visibility quite a bit, and then that was the last right there. So the next thing we should see is the bridge. Oh man, the visibility here is terrible. It's going to force me to slow down. Smolton again. Oh, maybe that was the last right. Yeah, I think this is how the weather was when I first arrived here. There's the bridge. Because I wasn't able to see the radio tower or the ice that it was on. Smolton, perfect. So I've just crossed the bridge, and I actually need to deliver precisely where I'm going to go ice fishing. So I'm actually going to take a detour and get gas first, go finish the delivery, then go fishing for fish. I don't know why I keep saying fishing for fish. Then go fishing, then I'll make my stew, and then I guess I just need to take like 2 more large trips and get some money. I forgot where it is that I'm meeting MK. Okay, the gas station should be somewhere back here. Haven't been here in a moment. There it is. Oh boy, and this means we need to talk to Gus again. We'll see if Gus is actually Gus, or the skinwalker slash brainwashed Gus that we were talking to earlier. Alright, in we go. Hey bud, how are you? Silence. Welcome to Easy Fuel. He even sounds different. We predicted the amount of fuel you require. $21 has been automatically deducted from your Easy Bank account. Have an easy day. That is not Gus. Have an easy day twice. That is not Gus whatsoever. Oh boy. Okay, we're getting back in. Yeah, so Gus has either been brainwashed, had a chip implanted that made him forget, which I guess is the equivalent, or been completely replaced by somebody new. Actually, oh wow, wait a minute. It's like just dawned on me that that is probably exactly what happened to Seb. Okay, let me keep driving. I have a job to do, but everybody has said that we look just like Seb. To the point that we've been confused for Seb on several occasions, although some people perhaps knew better than to call us Seb. They did say that, you know, we reminded them of Seb and that they weren't used to us yet because they were so accustomed to Seb. And we saw the old guy mention that MK and Seb were best friends. I have a lot of reasons to believe that Gus has undergone the exact same procedure or replacement or what have you that happened to Seb. Alright, the drop-off point is right around the corner. Sunrise is coming soon. Let's not drive off the edge. That's not a good idea. Alright, we're dropping off right here. Hopping out. Grabbing the package. Tossing it on the floor. Hello? Perfect. Closing that up. Getting back in. And I'm just going to go ahead and drive back over to one of those huts you can see right off to the right over there. I haven't actually driven onto the ice, so I'm pretty sure that's a bad idea. Wow, the visibility here is terrible. I'm gonna go to the same hut I went to last time, because again, I can't see anything around here. And I think it was down here. I'm pretty sure I drove this way. And I went to that hut right there because I could park really close to it without actually putting the truck on the ice. Alright, so in we go. It's going to get cold very fast because of the temperature outside. We'll go ahead and head inside. You can already see the outside of our screen starting to get icy. We'll toss that in. Now we need the lighter. We'll light that. And that should already be providing warmth. Nice, yeah, you can see the ice on the edge of the screen starting to push away. Place the pot. Yeah, and I can use the same pot. One of you guys mentioned this as well. I made a whole new fireplace last time, when actually I can just put the pot on top of the stove. Alright, let's go like this. I don't think I already have any fish that I could be making. If I do, then that's fine. Alright, let's wait for them to catch. I can see you getting close, buddy. Come on. Gotcha. Boom. Nice. So we'll put that away, grab the fish, put it in the pot. Alright, let me make sure I don't have any other fish. No, I think I made them all last time. Okay, so fishing again. If I do happen to fish them faster than they cook, although they cook relatively quickly, then no worries, I'll put them in my inventory. I'd be willing to bet that fish never go bad in this temperature. Alright, we'll put that away. Come here. Oh, he almost escaped. Alright, put that in the inventory. This looks almost done, actually, so I'm going to wait a second to collect this. Perfect. We will put that away and swap it out for some actual fish. Alright, and back to the task at hand. Easily the most relaxing part of our job. Oh, there we go. I almost caught it too late there. I didn't realize it was going to go for it on the second bite. Alright. That stew is almost ready, but I bet I can catch another fish. About the same amount of time it would take to be done. Nope, it's done before I've caught anything. Yeah, that stew is definitely done. I don't think it can go bad, though. Let's put that away, grab you, put you in the inventory, grab that, put that in the inventory as well, and drop a fish. I do have to be aware of the fire dying. Although I guess I have more firewood that I can simply replace it with. So maybe there really is no concern. I mean, this is pure net positive. Not to mention, on the way out of here, I'm going to grab a very well-paying job. I guess I need you, and I put you away as well. This is just about done, so I'm going to wait the extra 2 seconds to pick it up, put it in the inventory, and drop another fish. Alright. Back to fishing we go. I mean, the more the merrier. I have no issue with putting in some more firewood and lighting it again, and leaving here with like 10 different fish soups, which seem to provide an insane amount of energy. And in all fairness, if we've already bought the firewood, you know, we might as well. Alright, we'll grab that, put that in the inventory, wait 2 seconds for this to finish cooking. Perfect, put that away as well, and set another fish to cook. Alright, fishing rod. Off we go. Nice, grab that one, put the fishing rod away, grab you, put you in the inventory, wait for this to wrap up, and rinse and repeat. Again, I literally lose nothing from just making as much fish stew as I can. Like, how much do I have right now? 7, perfect. I'm gonna have more fish stew than I have coffee by the time I leave here. Which is actually excellent news. It's only taken, what, 3 hours of the day? And I'd be willing to bet that in 2 more trips, I can have more than enough to buy the ice chains. Because I'll take one back down to Snowy Peaks, one on the way back, and that will take us back here, where we are at the moment, where the ice chains are actually available for purchase. Alright, I'll grab you, put you in the inventory, grab you, also put you in the inventory, and we need fish to cook. Alright, that fire is almost dead. I have more than enough fish stew to have justified this stop. Can I light it again? Like, relight it? I don't think I can. I think I just have to put more firewood in there. We'll see if it's enough to cook this fish. I think it is. You can see there's like 1 pixel worth of fire there. But as soon as that disappears, well, maybe I won't replace it with firewood. If it's enough to cook the fish, then I don't really care. Yeah, I'll grab that. Put that in my inventory. That fire is just about dead, so I'll put that away as well. And I am out of here. Alright, back to the truck we go. We have, what, like 8 different fish stews? More than enough to justify the stop. Back to work. Let's grab an actual job that we can do. I need it to be intercity. There we go, $51. Back to Snowy Peaks. That is more like it. 62 to Mountain Town. 88 to Snowy Peaks. Now we're talking. Pick up in Clifton and deliver to God knows where. Alright, let's do that. That sounds promising. We'll get out of here, and we need to go back down to Clifton. So you'd imagine the fastest way to do that is to go back through Smalton, say hi to Gus, who is definitely no longer Gus, and pretty much make our way back the same way we came down. Yeah, I can't believe it took me that long to put it together. I almost had that aha moment at the beginning when I was talking about Gus in the first place before we stopped for gas, but then it actually clicked how many different people said that we look like Seb, remind them of Seb, what have you, and now I'm having the exact same experience with Gus, where I look at Gus and I'm like, yeah, that's obviously Gus, but like deep down I know that's not Gus anymore. I don't know what it is, if it's a zombie, if it's a brainwashed version of Gus, if it's like a skinwalker version, if it's an imposter, I have no idea what it is, but it's not Gus as we know him. Hold on. To Clifton. Hold on. I need to be going this way. Alright, if I'm going up this way. Left, and then right, and then left. Also, you can hear the easy news, but I can't really make anything out. To Dampton, so yeah, this is the left. Then right. And the last left, right this way. Wait, where am I picking up from? Hold on, why am I getting out of the truck? Oh, I'm picking up further down. I think it was the flowers or the market? Oh, the Easy Mart. Okay. Right here. In we go. Hey, buddy. Hey, mate. I've been feeling strange lately. Oh, boy. Next victim. I spent all this time reading and learning, never any time discovering who I really was. I feel like we're at the end of something. Don't you? Oh, man. He sure is feeding the fire. Yeah, I do feel like we're at the end of something. I have a funny feeling we are going to discover something awful after we unlock these ice chains. I'd be willing to bet that extra mobility is going to take us somewhere that we don't really understand what we're getting into. Alright, we're headed back to Snowy Peaks. There's the tunnel. This will take us to Mountain Town. We have more than enough gas to make it to Snowy Peak and back. So we're going to basically go down, grab a job, come back, buy the ice chains, and then find out exactly what MK wants from us next. I'd also like to understand what MK meant last time when he said that we gave him a reason to keep going. Because that makes me feel like the real Seb doesn't exist anymore. That we're some sort of clone, but that maybe is just enough to have convinced MK to keep sort of like creating the resistance, fighting the Easy Co-establishment. I mean, it could have also just been a plain commentary on the fact that we are, you know, helping him in these different ways. Although it kind of serves our purpose as well, because obviously we are extremely curious to find out exactly what's going on. Alright, that's Easton. We need to go to Weston. So it might have just been a commentary on you are objectively helpful, but I have a funny feeling that there was more to it than that. That we genuinely do remind MK of Seb. To the point that I'm already sort of accepting that that might be my actual identity in this game, is I might be Seb. I'd almost be more afraid to find out that I'm not, that I'm some sort of knockoff that came with a different name tag. Alright, headed to the right here. Still, oh, I've never hit a sign before in this game, I don't think. Still very tempted to go up that way, but I don't think it's worth the struggle just to find out that we can't do it again and have to come back down. So we're going up the normal way. Hopefully when we get the ice tires, like you're telling me this isn't a shortcut? This stinks of being a shortcut. It just doesn't feel faster. Yeah, look how the truck is struggling. Yeah, this doesn't feel faster at all. I have to admit, the temptation to find a faster way is immense. Oh, we're so close. You're telling me you can't make that last bit? Put some elbow grease into it. Come on, surely, surely. Just a little push. Nice. Okay, we made it up this high. I don't know how much progress that actually is or represents. Feels more like we're just doing the same. Yeah, we're going the same way with more effort. Okay. That's the last time I take a shortcut that isn't plain as day obvious. Okay, that would have been way faster just going the normal way. Or maybe I just don't know my shortcuts very well. We're running a little low on energy, so we'll drop this off at Snowy Peaks and hop out, have some of that delicious fish soup that we've created. Grab a big trip on the way back, buy those ice chains, and we'll be ready to find out a little bit more about what MK wants us to do with those ice chains. Although I think the implication is kind of clear, right? You go to Fishing Town, the entire center is an enormous frozen ice lake, and we're buying ice chains. I mean, and there's nowhere else really that I can imagine we'd use those, so I feel like the implication is kind of clear. I know for a fact there's a radio tower in the center of that ice lake. I don't know if it's been accessible to me this entire time, but whoa, my goodness. No, 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 no. Wait a second. Wait. Oh no. Pick up the payload. The audacity. Wait, where is it? Okay, the truck survived somehow. Oh man. I mean, I was way overdue for one of those the way I've been driving. Oh, the question is, where on earth is the payload? Is it back on the road? I feel like it normally respawns back on the road. So I'm pretty sure I can just go back up and it'll be there. I hope. Please. Please be there, else I'm going to waste an enormous amount of time hunting this down again. I think it's up there. Anyways, to continue my thought after that, before that horrendous accident occurred, I was going to say I feel like the implication that we have to go up there is pretty obvious. Please tell me the package is up here. Please. Don't tell me I have to drive all the way back down. Surely it's here somewhere. Is it really not? There's no way I fell that far. No, there it is. That's the package. That's the package right there. Okay, perfect. Thank goodness that they respawned it up here. Okay, grab that. Toss it in the trunk. And nothing happened. Don't tell insurance about that. I don't think we even have insurance. I think if we genuinely died in the cold, EasyCo would just poop out another Seb, take out the DNA sample they had from Seb, and just create another one. And then everybody would be like, wow, you sure look like the last delivery driver who wasn't Seb. Who are you? Anyways, we've made our way to Snowy Peaks with a relatively smooth ride. Where are we actually going? Okay, back to that third cabin. Seems to be a hotspot for deliveries. At least well-paying ones, so what used to be a creepy cabin is now a treasure trove of free cash for me. Alright, we're headed left here to Munton. But yeah, to finish the idea, there's no ice anywhere else on the map that I know of, so it seems pretty obvious that we're going to have to use those ice tires to get to that center radio tower for some reason or another. These radio towers all seem to have some sort of meaning beyond just, being a radio tower. For example, the first 3 we had to switch all those levers to unlock Fishing Town in the first place. Now, I am a little curious what would have happened if I had driven onto the ice. I have avoided it because I don't want to find out, that they reset your money or something like that. By doing something as silly as trying to drive on a lake full of frozen ice without explicit instruction to do so. But I'm curious to know what would have happened if I had made it to that center radio tower. If it would have let me just continue the mission, or if I would have seen a lever like I saw when I went to the first radio tower before MK told us to open the gate, basically, and I didn't understand what it was for. I assume it would have been something like that. We probably could have gotten there with some difficult driving, and then seen something that we wouldn't have understood the purpose of, and not really made anything of it. But after we get these ice tires, and what are we supposed to do after that? Meet MK somewhere? Probably should have paid better attention to exactly what the conclusion was there. But after we do that, we'll get explicit instructions on the purpose of this entire task, besides just giving EasyCo $300 more. I mean, it's their own money, so it's their own revenue. We're just kind of playing the game that they've created for us. EasyCo, that is. Alright, we are very low on energy now. Gas is doing okay. So at that third cabin, we'll go ahead and drop this off. That's 1, 2, cabin number 3. Oh goodness, yeah, sliding out is extremely easy in the snow. Grab the package, drop it right there, close the trunk, grab some fish stew. I wonder if I can eat the raw fish. That would be kind of funny. I have a funny feeling I can't. It would probably just drop it on the floor. Get back in, and now I just need one more job that takes me from here back down to, I have $276. I can take pretty much any job. But I'll just take a job that takes me back to Fishing Town. $86, now we're talking. $81 will probably take us a little shorter, and I like the sound of that. Oh, we pick up in Munton, though. Never mind. Well, yeah, then maybe there's a chance it'll just take us a little bit into Fishing Town, which is kind of what we want, right? Right? That way we can go straight to Clifton, where the ice chains are available for purchase. Alright, back down this radio tower we go. Also, do I have the tea effect from drinking fish soup? It looks like I do. You can see the little tea icon, which I can only imagine is a good sign. We'll have to go to Upper Munton, so when we get to this bridge, we're actually going to hang a right at the end of it. Again, the easy news is running, and I'm trying to see if I can discern anything, but it doesn't seem to be anything that's audible, or that can be made any sense of. Okay, there's the bridge. Little left turn here, we'll zoom to the end, go to the right, drive our way to the top of Munton. I don't think there's a... Is there a gas station here somewhere? I don't think there is. Actually, is there a gas station in... Oh yeah, there is, in Winton. But that's not worth it. For that, we can just go to Upton. We have more than enough gas. We can even do it at Easton on the way there. So, Upper Munton, here we go. I do remember this being a little bit of a pain to drive up. Although, admittedly, my experience with driving through the snow at the beginning of the series was far less than it is now. So, although tricky, shouldn't really be outside of the realm of what we've already encountered. Okay, that was a little bit of an unnecessary shortcut, but worked out all the same. Another fun little jump. It's funny because we're still on the road, you can barely tell. There we go. Except for these road markers and the tiny sliver of road to the right. Okay, this opens back up. More enormous piles of snow, but you'd imagine we're still making progress towards the top. Right around here. Okay, yeah, this is kind of worse than I remember. I mean, what road is wide enough that It's not really a big deal, but I understand now why I remember this being kind of pesky. Alright, there we go. We've arrived at the... Where am I picking up from? I think I'm picking up at the very top. Am I not at the very top, though? Hold on, let me check exactly where I'm grabbing this stuff from. Pick up from the bar. Okay, so I am at the right spot. This is the tippy top of the mountain. I remember this guy being pretty funny. Oi, yeah, this guy's funny. I heard you're new. I'm Fives. Hey, Fives. Did you meet my twin Sixo yet? I did. If Sixo asks you if you want to make some money, just run away. Actually, that's so funny because my only other memory of the bar is going in and Sixo asking me if I want to take part in a business opportunity that he hadn't thought up of, that he hadn't thought up yet, that he hadn't thought of yet. He was like, I have an amazing business opportunity for you. I just haven't thought of it yet, which I thought was funny. Alright, we're headed back to Fishing Town. Let me make sure I don't drive myself off the road. And I'm on a cliff and on some slippery snow. It's funny that we should have an easy news station now that I think about it. You'd imagine it's run completely by Easy Delivery Co. Alright, we're almost at the bottom here. Here's my quote-unquote shortcut that I had taken, which turned out just to be another lump of snow. Make our way to the bottom, and then we'll just drive past the bridge again. Oh, I'm dropping beer bottles. That's okay. Not the end of the world. As long as the actual containers themselves don't spill out, I should be fine. Alright, to Winton, off we go. I would go up to the gas station, but it's so much extra driving when I could just go into, like, Easton on the way to Fishing Town that just doesn't make any sense. Not to mention, I'd much rather spend as little time as possible driving in this snow than swim around in it for no extra reasons. Also, I have to admit, a part of me finds the concept of the weather in the top right kind of comical, because in my head, all of those numbers can kind of be summarized as, it's really cold outside, be careful. And I know that possibly some of you that live in more, perhaps wintry sort of areas, see some sort of differentiation. In my head, all of that is just extremely cold. I mean, unless you live in, like, Alaska or something, I can't imagine that's something inside the realm of a lot of our experiences. Alright, here we are in Upton. The temptation to go down this way is so incredibly high. I just don't think it's justified, though. We'll just go the normal way. We're almost done with this final mission before we can just meet up with MK anyways. It's funny, every time I drive through there, that lump of snow seems less and less of a concern. Well, you know, minus the accident that we had, but it was a very minor one and it resolved itself kind of quickly. Alright, down. Oh my goodness, no! So that's what happens? Nothing? I've been driving carefully for no reason this whole time. That's not totally true. But they are super lax on... Because that was a huge accident. I literally just drove off the edge of a cliff. I mean, I've been testing the barriers of this game since I hopped in this truck. I've been driving a little faster every episode, having some slightly closer calls every episode. I finally had my first crash in this episode, but that was an actual total wipeout. You even saw the truck was set alight. It was on fire for a split second there. But they kind of just respawned us with the payload right underneath us. So as far as I can tell, there's genuinely nothing to drive carefully for. We are on a mission to take down Easy Delivery Go, and as far as I can tell, that was probably our last major concern, is whether or not actually resetting the game by like dying in some way was a concern. And obviously it's not. Not to mention I've lost one of those crates, but as long as one of them makes it, I should be totally fine. Alright, little left-hand turn here. Right past the building. Cutting it close just for the sport of it. Left-hand turn. Down to the intersection. It's funny, I've grown so accustomed to these snow tires that I barely feel the effect. I'm sure if I had them removed and I was driving with the regular tires, I would suddenly notice the increase in slippage. But I can admit that I've definitely grown accustomed to these already. Alright, we do need gas. We're down to a half tank, and I don't really feel comfortable progressing into the next stage of the game with an urgent need to get gas. So, we're taking a quick pit stop in Easton. We'll see if Gus has come to life yet, or if his twin is pretty much all we have to deal with now. It's weird. I didn't realize I would feel sad about losing Gus, but I mean, to some extent we have lost him. There's no way that's Gus anymore. A shell of what he used to be. And he used to be a total, like I said, curmudgeon, but really doesn't feel the same anymore. Welcome to Easy Fuel. We predicted the amount of fuel you require is $40, which has been automatically deducted from your Easy Bank account. Have an easy day. Have an easy day. Okay, well, I don't know, it's sad. I feel like Gus is gone. That's it. There is no more Gus. Okay, we're going down to the bridge. $236, and I think this trip was for 80 some dollars, so we'll definitely have the 300 we need to buy the ice chains. Oh, frame rate. Oh, there we go. But we'll also have a whole bunch of fish stew, or rather fish soup, and coffee, and I think we have tea bags as well, which we never made, but we have firewood, so we can make that as well. So everything besides money is covered. I don't know how much we're going to have left over. It's going to be somewhere in the realm of 20-30 bucks, which is fine to get around. We have all the resources we actually need. That was a pretty aggressive jump, but somehow we didn't lose anything. Yep, here we arrive in Fishing Town. Let me go ahead and hop out. Have some of this fish soup. Nice, I have plenty of energy. Gas tank is full. I'm ready to make my last very expensive purchase of the day, which are those ice chains for the truck. And then you'd imagine I'll be instructed to go meet MK somewhere new. Maybe at the dam? Or was it the fishing hut? I think it was in this map still. I don't think we're going back to a different map. So I'd imagine the continuation is to drive on that ice with precisely the ice chains we will acquire. So Easy Auto is right here. Oh wait, the drop-off point is just ahead. So let me do that first. Alright, so I actually have the funds to buy the ice tires. I'll go ahead and open this up, pick it up, place it down, close the trunk, get back in, and with $322, I have just enough to buy those ice chains. So here we go. Easy Auto, back to the old man that mentioned MK and Seb knowing each other as close friends at the beginning. There are the ice chains. I'd like to buy these, kind sir. I mean, we better get friendly with him. He basically dictates how good our truck is going to be. Oh? I remembered what I was supposed to tell you. Oh, he actually did have something to tell us like 2 episodes ago. Seb was babbling about easy co-programming. Something about the SD unit and the cluster. Does that make any sense to you? Easy co-programming, SD, and cluster. So SD is an abbreviation for something. Ice chains. These should help you keep your speed on the ice. All cost $299.98, and there goes all our money. Your upgrade will be installed right away, thank you. All set. I appreciate that. Perfect. Alright, so we should have some new goals as well. Can I see the ice chains? Do they look cool? They look exactly the same. Alright. Actually, I can kind of see them. Like a faint gray. Anyways, let's check out our new goals. We've purchased the ice chains. Now, head to the factory just west of Mountain Town. Oh, that's where we were supposed to go. So we are going back to a different place. That's really strange. Okay. Is there anything else that I need to read? I don't believe there is. I could take a job, actually. Mountain Town for $20, Mountain Town for $35, Mountain Town for $31. Where are these pickup places is my question. Because if I have to, yeah, if I have to pick up all the way up in Dampton, that's not really worth much to me. Okay, 20 bucks I guess is fine. And we'll pick up from right here in Clifton. Alright, we'll pick it up from the market. Off we go. And we should be able to hypothetically keep speed somehow now. Oh, did you see that? Wait a minute. I think it just eliminated the snow. Yeah, look at that. That's a cool little effect. Okay, so there will be no more slippage, which will be something to get used to. At least it will be reduced. Hey there. SD30 error state, unable to receive directive. Trouble connecting to EasyCo servers. Oh my goodness, they're bots. Have an easy day. They are bots. They're bots, they're bots, they're bots. Get me out of here. They're actually bots. Toss that in, close. I need to get out of here. No, 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 that's extremely creepy. They're bots. Gus is a bot, guaranteed. He was really nice to us in the past. He's been turned into a bot. He's the one that liked Ellie. Didn't even mention Ellie, just SD error code. That is a robot. Oh, please, I don't want the end of this to be that I'm also a robot. I've said this more than enough times for you guys to understand the message, but I really do like the book 1984, by far my favorite read. If you haven't read it before, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I will say that sometimes your allies can be your enemies. So I'm hoping not to find out that MK is not on our side. I think MK has to be. MK is the only hope here. Oh, but that sounds exactly like what Winston said to convince him that he needed to take faith in these people. Okay, so our ice chains don't eliminate these massive piles of ice, which is realistic and makes sense. Where exactly am I dropping this off anyways? Oh, I'm dropping this off right here in Easton. Okay, so Gus is compromised. Gus is definitely a bot. That guy's definitely a bot. I don't think MK is a bot. MK is too natural. The distinction between what an EasyCo controlled employee sounds like and what a normal person sounds like Ellie, for example, or the one that suspects every package is weird because it has cardboard. The way they speak and the way an EasyCo compromised employee speaks are extremely different. So I can't imagine that they have that ability. Alright, we've dropped that off. Let's get back in and get out of here. Have an easy day. We have fuel, we have energy, pretty much everything that we need. We have rough driving abilities that are extremely sketchy. We have everything we need to make our way to that factory on the west side of Mountain Town, so you'd imagine I want to go here. I'm pretty sure that's where the factory was. In fact, I made a point in one of the earliest episodes that I wanted to explore it, but I got carried away doing all the other missions and jobs that it never really occurred to me to stop that to go explore it, but we're headed there head first now in hopes of meeting MK. Hopefully with some good news or some clear instructions on how we make progress towards dethroning this EasyCo establishment. Because I would much rather live in this community knowing that everybody is their true selves, even if Gus is a bit of a rough one to get used to. There's something to be appreciated in his authenticity. Whereas this, there's the factory, this robo sort of species is not something I've any interest in. Oh, I can hear MK. Oh my goodness, look at the size of that establishment. And there's a direct road towards it. You can see there's an a lake, an ice lake, I'm pretty sure. You'd imagine an ice lake with all the snow around here. Alright, MK, fill us in. What's going on? You've got the ice chains? I do. And the bumper. Good, it's a straight shot to the factory. You'll need some speed. I'll radio you once you're inside. I would go with you, but my programming doesn't seem to allow it. Oh my goodness, we're like robo-humans. You know what? I thought I was crazy for thinking we had chips. I'm totally justified now. I've been trying for months to get in, ever since I assume some sort of massive reboot happened. The guy that writes into his journal mentioned it. Anyway, make sure to top up on energy before heading in. Good luck in there. Well, we have plenty of fish, we have plenty of coffee, so I should be in a good spot. Alright, we'll call it an episode there. If you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing. I'm extremely excited to film again tomorrow and find out exactly where this factory mission takes us. We have everything we need, so I think we'll be just hopping in the truck and, like he said, straight shot into the factory. I will see you guys in the next one.